July 20th is not a normal day, and the part of you that has been waiting for something to break already knows it. You have been told it is just another date on the calendar. Maybe you have heard someone call it another retrograde, another moon, another thing to scroll past. It is not. On July 20th, 5 of the slowest moving bodies in our sky lock into a position they have not held in your lifetime. The same kind of alignment that has appeared right before the moments that reorganized entire civilizations. This is not a horoscope, and it is not optional. It lands on everyone alive that day. The only thing you get to decide is whether you meet it awake or whether it moves you while your eyes are closed. And here is the part that should raise the hair on your arms. If the last 3 years have felt like pushing against something that will not move, a door that will not open, a life that will not quite start, a version of you standing just out of reach, that stuck feeling was never a personal failure. It was pressure building. It was the setup. July 20th is the thing it has been waiting for. There is a specific 72-hour window, and inside it there is one specific thing that shifts. Stay with me, because by the end of this you will know exactly what to do with it. Let's start with what is actually happening, because the name matters. Astrologers are calling it the Barbault Basket. On and around July 20, 4 of the outermost planets, Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, settle onto almost the exact same degree of their signs, the 4th degree, and arrange themselves into a shape that looks on the wheel like a cradle. A basket, 4 points holding a single tension suspended in the center. It is rare to the point of being generational. And the man whose life's work first mapped these outer planet gatherings, the French astrologer this pattern is named for, died in 2019, only months before the low point his own cycle had marked became the year the entire world went quiet and locked its doors. He did not live to watch it come true. Hold that date in your head. You are going to want to remember where you were standing when this one hit. Because this is not the first time the slow planets have gathered this tightly, and that is the part almost nobody tells you plainly. The other times, they clustered like this lineup, again and again, with the collapse and rebuild moments that history gives names to, the turning points, the before and afters. These are not random dates that happen to feel heavy. They are structural resets, the old arrangement coming apart so a new one can take its place. And a reset does not ask for your permission before it begins. It does not send a warning about which of your carefully held structures it has decided to come for. It simply arrives, and afterward, things are not arranged the way they were. So name it, quietly, right now, the part of your life that has felt frozen since 2023. The thing that stopped moving and never explained why. That is not a coincidence. Say it out loud, even if it's only to the empty room. Before I show you the next piece, the part about where you specifically are standing in all of this, subscribe and turn the like on now, so it actually reaches you before the 20th, because what I'm about to tell you about your own sign is the thing most people find out too late to use. So here is why this lands on you, and not just on the world in some distant, abstract way. Those 4 planets are sitting at the opening degrees of Leo, Aquarius, Aries, and Gemini, the very start of those signs. If you carry anything in the early degrees of those 4, you are standing directly under the beam of this. You will feel it as an event, something with a before and an after you can point to. But the opposition running through the center of the basket, that tension held in the middle, that one reaches everyone, no exceptions, no matter your chart. And I need you to hear this clearly, because it is the part that catches people off guard. The ones who swear they feel nothing on July 20th, who shrug and say the sky did nothing for them, are usually the exact ones it is already quietly rearranging underneath. Numbness is not the same as safety. drop your sign in the comments. Tell me where you're standing, and I'll tell you whether you're directly in its path. Now the warning, because this next part is where most people lose the window entirely. A shift like this almost never arrives first as relief. It arrives first as loss. The thing you have been gripping, the relationship you keep defending, the plan you have outgrown, the identity you built years ago and never updated, it starts to loosen in your hands. And for a moment, sometimes longer than a moment, that does not feel like freedom. It feels like the floor going out from under you. It feels like something being taken. So the instinct kicks in, the oldest instinct there is: hold tighter, grab the old thing and refuse to let it move. And that single reflex, is the one move that keeps you locked out of the new life the reset was opening for you. You already know what you are gripping. You knew before I finished the sentence. Do not look away from it now, not this week of all weeks. Which brings us to the 72 hours themselves, and the one deliberate act that changes everything about how this passes through you. Somewhere inside July 19th to 21st, you do one thing on purpose. You decide the thing you have refused to decide for months. You release the loop you keep running, the same argument with yourself, the same replay, the same waiting. Or you finally say the sentence you have been carrying around unsaid, the one that sits in your chest every time the subject comes near. Just one. Not all of it. One clean, deliberate act inside the open window. And understand what happens if you let it pass untouched. The same choice does not disappear. It waits for you on the other side. It just costs more to make from there, more time, more distance, more of the life you could have been living in the meantime. Pick your one thing. Comment it below. That is how it stops being a thought and starts being real. So let me widen this out, now that you can see the whole shape of it. The basket is not something happening to you, like weather you endure with the windows shut. It is a structure, and you are what it's holding. Those 4 planets are not going to rebuild your life for you. That was never what they do. All they do is open the window. They pull back the pressure that has been sealing everything shut, and for a brief and specific stretch of days, they leave a gap where a different life can actually be built. By you, with your own hands, through the small and enormous choices you make about what you are finally willing to stop tolerating. That stuck feeling from the very start of this, the one you recognized before I even described it, that was never the end of your story. That was the pressure right before something gives. And when people look back on July 20th as the day everything turned, it will not be the ones who watched the sky. It will be the ones who moved while it was open. So before you go, tell me the one thing, the single thing you are going to decide, release, or finally say before July 20th. Just the word for it, or the name. I want to see how many of us are standing at the very same door.